Hello and welcome to Historiography. Historiography is the study of historical writing, and timelines are often great ways to understand the chronology of events. In this series, let us go through some timelines of major historical characters and events that shaped their identity. Today's episode is the life and times of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. He was born in 1630 at the fort of Shivneri and was possibly named after the goddess Shivai, who has a temple on the fort. He spent his initial few years at the fort of Shivneri and around the surroundings of Pune, like Khed Shivapur. Some references of his childhood include notes about time spent at the house of Bapuji Mudgal Deshpande and with his sons Chimnaji and Babaji. Not much information is available about his childhood, as this was the period of great famine in the Deccan area, which perhaps had a great impact on his thought process during these growth years. We step into the year 1640 when he was married to Saibai, daughter of the Nimbalkars from Fulton. In 1641, he visited Bangalore, which by now housed the official palace of his father Shahaji Raje Bhosle. While he stayed at Bangalore, he was married to Soirabai, the daughter of the Mohites from Talbid. While returning back to Pune in 1642, he was joined by what became his initial court. He was given his initial seal, his flag, and his office bearers, possibly appointed by his father. This began the initial quest of Home Rule movement, the establishment of Swaraj. In 1644, he gained the allies from the Gunjal Mawal area and thus controlled over the hillocks of Murumdev and Torna, which later became Rajgarh and Prachandagarh. He fought against Baji Prabhu to conquer the fort of Roheda and later persuaded Baji Prabhu to join him as an ally. He also got an important ally in Yesaji from the Kank family, from the town of Bhutonde near Rajgarh. 1645 marks the beginning of justice in the area. We see Babaji Guzar being punished for his ill deeds. 1646-47 saw the fort of Subhan Mangal, a long-standing seat of the Amin of Shirwal area, come under Shivaji Maharaja's control. 47 was also the year when Dadaji Kondev passed away. The renewal letters for numerous authorities, taxes, and other monetary collections which were issued by Dadaji Kondev were later issued by Shivaji Maharaj, who references him in his letters. Expansion of the territory continued in 1648 when Shivaji Maharaj decided to step into the Nilkant Rao family quarrel and took over the control of the fort of Purandar. He battled Fateh Khan, the first appointed Sardar from Adil Shah, against him and made him retreat in the skirmish. As a result, his father, who was still at the service of the Adil Shahi kings of Bijapur, was arrested. 1649 saw his efforts to temporarily ally with the Mughals take a step back and hand over the fort of Kondana to the Adil Shah and call a peace for the release of his father. He had also started the construction of the fort of Rajgarh by now, which would be his first capital. Netuji Palkar was appointed as the captain of the fort of Purandar in 1650. This began a long association during which he also acted as the commander-in-chief of his army. This was followed by the conquest of Zauri in 1656. Shivaji Maharaj annexed Zauri to his kingdom, established the control over the neighboring hills, and began the construction of Pratapgarh. This conquest of Zauri soon followed the mores to another nearby fort, the fort of Rairi. This very year, his elder brother, Sambhaji, was killed by deception during the siege of Kanakgiri. 1657 marked as the year of marriage diplomacy. Shivaji Maharaj took 3 wives, Sakwarbai, Kashibai and Gunwantabai, thus gaining support from the Gaikwad, Jadhav and Ingle clans. His elder son Sambhaji was born this very year to his first wife Saibai. The peace with the Mughals was disturbed when he sacked the markets of Zunnar and Ahmednagar. It seems the capital gain from here was put towards the construction of the navy at the port of Kalyan. The fort of Durgadi was strengthened further. When Mughals questioned his moves in 1657, he followed it up with another treaty in 1658 and continued to grow his power by bringing prominent forts and trade routes under his control. His expansion in the Konkan region saw opposition from a new foe, which haunted him in the years to come, the Siddhis of Janjira. 1659 saw the loss of his wife Saibai. With the Mughals at peace and his expansion in the Adil Shahi territory, it would have been a surprise had the Adil Shah not sent any strong commander against him. Afzal Khan was appointed and in a daring turn of events slain at the Battle of Pratapgarh. What followed was a swift campaign that expanded his control from Vai to the fort of Panhala. After reaching Panhala, another mighty general from the Adil Shahi ranks, Siddhi Johar, was appointed against him, who besieged him at the fort of Panhala. The daredevil escape at night during a heavy downpour, followed by a 21-hour run towards the fort of Vishalgarh, where a hostile Siddhi Masood followed him. This resulted in a skirmish at the base of the fort of Vishalgarh, where Baji Prabhu and Phulaji Prabhu fought bravely and repelled the army while sacrificing their lives. This was the very year when Shaista Khan, the Mughal commander, was appointed to Deccan against Shivaji Maharaj. 1661 turned out to be the year of appointments. Moropanta Pingle became the finance minister, Balaji Auji as his secretary, while Tanaji Malusare, after his great valour, was appointed on the province of Sangameshwar. With the Maratha flags waving from Dabhol to Sangameshwar, Shivaji Maharaj sealed his control over this area by another marriage pact. This time, his son Sambhaji was betrothed to the daughter of Pilaji Shirke, Jiubai. With power over Konkan, Shivaji Maharaj then arrested Henry Revington from his factory at Rajapur for his crimes during the siege of Panhala. On the family front, he became grandfather at the age of 31 when his daughter was blessed with a child. He then subdued Namdar Khan near Pain in 1662, a brutal battle in which both parties suffered casualties. Vagoji Tupe was martyred at this battle. Moropanta Pingle, who was the finance minister until now, was elevated to be the prime minister, and Nilopanta was given the finance ministry, while Annaji Datto took charge as the secretary. The construction of the temple of the goddess Bhavani atop Pratapgarh started this very year. 1663 was the year of raid on Shaista Khan. When it was noticed that Shaista Khan has camped at Pune with no intentions to leave, Shivaji Maharaj himself attacked his camp at Pune. This was the year when Maratha forces defeated Khawas Khan's army near Kudal and added it to the Maratha kingdom. Rahuji Somnath was appointed as its first Maratha Subedar. This year was also invested in planning the all-important expedition of Surat. Bahirji Naik's intelligence played an important role during this planning. 1664 began on a somber note with the demise of his father Shahaji Maharaj, who passed away during a hunting accident in the forest of Hodegiri. A long-pending revenge against Baji Ghorpade followed the death of Shahaji Raje. Baji Ghorpade earlier had been treacherous and had arrested Shahaji Maharaj along with Afzal Khan. The Maratha power expanded in the southern Konkan region of Maharashtra with the capture of the fort of Fonda. The first sack of Surat also took place in 1664 during the month of December. 1665 turned out to be the year of taking a few steps back. Although the year began on victories in Bednur and coastal Karnataka, it was followed by the Mughal attack on the fort of Purandar. Murarbaji Deshpande fought bravely at the siege of Purandar and was martyred. The fall of Purandar led to the Treaty of Purandar with the Mughals. Mirza Raja Jai Singh represented the Mughals in a treaty where the Marathas retained the control over 12 forts while 23 forts were handed over to the Mughal commanders. Raja Jai Singh also ensured that the Maratha armies assisted him in a coordinated attack on Bijapur. The Allied onslaught continued the following year in 1666 but resulted in a major defeat for the Maratha army at the fort of Panhala, when Netoji Palkar arrived late with his forces. Netoji, feeling insulted, left the Maratha army and allied with the Mughal forces later this very year. As per the Treaty of Purandar, Shivaji Maharaj had to visit the court of Emperor Aurangzeb at Agra. He left on 5th March for Agra, reaching on the 29th of May in 1666. Displeased with the treatment received at the court, he left the court in anger and was subsequently arrested. In a daring turn of events, on 18th of August 1666, Aurangzeb received the news that Shivaji Maharaj had escaped Agra. Shivaji Maharaj then reached Rajgarh on 12th of September, followed by his son Sambhaji on the 20th of November. 1667 began with the diplomacy with the Mughals. After the sudden exit from the court of Aurangzeb, he sent his son to Aurangabad as his representative. With a step back against the Mughals and work being done against the reinforcements in the Maratha army, Shivaji Maharaj signed a temporary peace treaty with the Adil Shahi Sultans. Once he had his armies ready, and with the Mughals and Adil Shahi armies kept at peace, he attacked the Portuguese in Goa on complaints of cruel inquisitions, resulting in a decisive treaty in the favor of Marathas. The next 3 years were invested in a meticulous planning before the Marathas opened the front on 4th of February 1670 at Sinhagad, which led to a war that lasted 37 years. Tanaji Malusare was martyred at the fort of Sinhagad, while 50 plus forts were captured in this very year. On personal front, his second son Rajaram was born on the fort of Rajgarh. With a decisive war initiated against the Mughals, he sacked the Mughal commercial city of Surat again and defeated the ensuing army at the Battle of Kanchanbari. 1671 was another year of planning, while the raids to capture Mughal forts continued. His son Sambhaji Maharaj was inducted formally as the Crown Prince, and we start noticing his letters bearing the seal of the Prime Ministers. A novel budget prepared for the maintenance of forts is available from this year. The Maratha kingdom was taking shape, and special efforts are seen during this year towards trade with the British and other foreign merchants. In 1672, with the confidence of the armies sky high, the might of the Maratha armies was noticed in a pitched open battle against the Mughal armies, when Prataprao Gujar and Moropant Pingle defeated them at the Battle of Salher. 50 plus forts were captured this very year. The Maratha kingdom established its trading principles, interacted with ambassadors like Ustik and Lefebvre. Accepting the Maratha dominance, the Qutub Shahi kingdom offered tributes to the Marathas in 1672. Along with the victories in open battles, the guerrilla battles continued. Kondaji Farzan captured the stronghold of Panhala with only 60 men. Prataprao Gujar defeated Behlol Khan near Umrani, but released him after surrender, which led to him returning back with an army. 1673 also saw the liquidation of power. Various loyal men of the Maratha kingdom were given powers and duties against them. This very year, Thomas Nichols, an English diplomat, visited Raigad. After begging mercy from Prataprao, Behlol Khan returned with an army, and in the following battle at Nesri, Prataprao Gujar was martyred. Hansaji Mohite was named Hambir Rao and appointed as the commander of the cavalry forces. Shivaji Maharaj by now had moved to his new capital at Raigad. One of his wives, Kashibai, passed away in March due to illness. Shivaji Maharaj then captured the fort of Kelanza and then was historically coronated twice as the Chhatrapati, king of the Marathas. Henry Oxenden, an English diplomat, was present at his coronation. Sadly, just a couple of weeks after the coronation, his mother Jizabai passed away due to old age. With the Siddhi soldiers proving to be a nuisance in the coastal areas, Shivaji Maharaj decided to subdue the Siddhis of Janjira by constructing the fort of Padmadurga in 1673. This very year, Bahadur Khan Kokaltash, the milk kin of Aurangzeb, was appointed to Deccan and was badly defeated near the plains of Bahadurgarh. With victories becoming a habit, major investments were made in the army and navy this very year. On personal front, Shivaji Maharaj was sick during the later half of this year and was unwell at the fort of Satara. In 1676, Shivaji Maharaj met the Saint Ramdas Swami at the cave of Shivthar. This was also the year when Muhammad Quli Khan, who was earlier known as Netoji Palkar, returned back to Maharashtra. While the construction of Padmadurga was on, Laiji Sarpatil was awarded with a ship named Palki for his bravery. His son Sambhaji was appointed as the governor over the province of Shringarpur. The ambitious expedition to bring southern India under control in the year 1677 began when Shivaji Maharaj first met with Qutub Shah, Abul Hasan Tana Shah, while his armies proceeded south to capture the strongholds from Belgaon to the fort of Jinji. When his younger brother Vyankoji opposed his demands of a share in the provinces of south, which were inherited from father Shahaji, Shivaji Maharaj defeated his armies in a small skirmish on the banks of the river Kolerun. In 1678, on their way back, Maratha armies marched on the stronghold of Belaudi against Savitribai, also known as Mallamma. She fought bravely against the armies of Dadaji Raghunath, and to award her bravery, she was set free by Shivaji Maharaj and reinstated. A poem, Shivaji Mallamma Samarotsava, was written in this honor. This was the very year when two prominent loyalists from the court, Foreign Minister Trimbak Pant and Minister Dattaji Pant, passed away. With Vellore under control, after constructing the forts Sazra and Gozra, Shivaji Maharaj returned back to Raigad. Troubles with Diler Khan continued in 1679, with his attack on Bhupalgarh, where he mercilessly cut off the arms of the captured Maratha soldiers. With Diler Khan sacking the areas of Maratha prominence, Maratha armies raided Jalna, then a prominent Mughal trade place. This was done under the leadership of Shivaji Maharaj. When Diler Khan decided to march against him, Shivaji Maharaj moved to Vishramgarh under the navigation of Bahirji Naik. Witnessing the Mughal atrocities, Sambhaji Maharaj, the crown prince, returned back to the Maratha faction. This very year, the Maratha navy defeated the English navy at the Battle of Khanderi, thus proving that strategy plays a crucial role over the strength of the armada. With Maratha armies going from strength to strength, Adil Shah now accepted Maratha dominance over south and stopped contesting against the strongholds which were under Maratha control. With Diler Khan proving to be a major rival in Deccan, Shivaji Maharaj set all his might against him. He then visited Panhala, where he met his son Sambhaji, and later visited the fort of Parali, where Saint Ramdas was stationed. He returned back to Raigad and arranged the thread and marriage ceremony of his son Raja Ram. This proved to be the final chapter of his story, as he passed away on 3rd April 1680 at the fort of Raigad due to illness. This marked the end of an era which raised the ambitions of the Marathas and taught them how to fight and defeat the enemy. This was followed by the era of whirlwind under the leadership of Sambhaji Maharaj. Please click the top right corner here to check that timeline. That sums up this episode of Life and Times. Do let us know your feedback through the comment section and show us some love by subscribing our channel and pressing the bell icon to set up notifications. We interact on these social handles, and thank you to our patrons and YouTube members. It is you that make ventures like these possible. Many thanks again for watching this video. You were watching Historiography.